they wanted to. But after Mom died, Dad moved out of there. They had just 3 kids at home. After Mama died, I guess there was only 3 kids at home, Almus and Merle and Linro. Linro was about 8, 9 years old. He turned 9 or 10, whichever it was, in a couple of months after Mom died.
She died in July. Lenny was August. He was 10.
I know he's just little. And when she went, she told me if I'd give her a bath, that she'd go to the hospital. She had a headache that she could, nothing we did didn't stop it. And I'd already been told, the doctor told me when I was with her down at Huntington, he said if she gets a headache that you can't calm down, you'll know that cancer has gone to her brain. Well, I didn't tell anybody because there's no point in telling the family and having them all shook up and it may not happen, see. So I just kept it to myself till she wrote me a letter. I lived in West Virginia then. She wrote me a letter and she said, I'm doing pretty good, except I have a headache that just won't stop. So I had to tell everybody then. I went home and I told Dad and I told whoever was there that lived close by. Rose didn't live there, she was up here. And Danny was a baby. Danny was, he called the mule. And she come down, Mom was in Prestonburg Hospital, and they took Danny up on the stairs on the outside fire escape so he could look in the window. They wouldn't let him take him in then like they do now. So he could see Grandma and speak to her. So he looks in, they open the window, and he looks in and he says hello to Grandma, and he says, where's the mule? He just, how old was he, Rose?
Oh, Mom died in 56.
Yeah. No, she's 56, and she was 54 and died in 56.
No, we got it wrong. She was 56 and died in 1954.
Okay, 1954, I turned it around.
Danny was born in 50, so he was 4 years old.
Yeah. Well, I remember that so clear. I was standing inside where Mom was, and he stuck his head in that window and he said, where's the mule?
That sounds right.
Well, it's the same way when Mom died. The doctor said somebody stayed with her all the time, and he begged us not to do that. He said, you're wearing yourselves out. She don't know you're here. And one of us, maybe Dad, said, but we don't want her to die alone. And he said, I'll let you know in time. Well, the only way he could let us know was to call Jim Steele and Myrtie's house and give them the word, and then they'd have to come 5 miles by foot or car or a horse or whatever to let us know. Well, they called.
It was Earl, wasn't it?
Huh?
Earl Kidd.
Well, they called Myrtie's and Jim's place, and no, Pansy come. I don't know who brought the news to Pansy, but Pansy come up the branch to the house to tell us that Mom was dead already. And Dad come from the field. Him and Almus and Merle was up in the field. And I had been going from West Virginia over there to take care of the things at the house. And Mom said, if you'll give me a bath, I'll go and see the doctor, because her head wouldn't stop hurting. And I knew what it was. And she had never let us see her body naked. And I knew that she had to be pretty bad for her to tell me to give her a bath. So I got a pan of water and a washcloth, because they didn't have bathtubs, you know. And I gave her a bath and got her some clean clothes and helped her to get dressed. And she got in Lim come with his old car and got her. And she got in the car, and then she asked Lloyd and Randy first to come and let her talk to him. She hugged him and talked to him. I don't know what she said to him, because she talked quietly to the children. And then she called Lenny, and talked to him last. And when the car pulled out away, she said, I'll see you children in a day or two. but she never got home. She never come home. And when the car pulled away, Lenny cried. And I don't know what she said to him, but whatever it was, it had upset him enough to cry.
She was a brave woman.
Yep.
She was a strong woman.
And the
but
doctor
gentle.
gave me and Ethel was down there, and I told the doctor that she was not getting. When she wrote me the letter and said she had a headache, she couldn't talk, I passed my house up in West Virginia and come to her house. And Edward was in a cast then from a slate ball. He'd broke his leg. And he was in a cast clear up to here. So there was no reason for to leave the house, undone. So we just locked it, and it was double house, and the family that lived in the other, or the woman and her husband lived in the other side. I told her to keep an eye on things if she would. And I don't know when I'll be back. And I went home to take care of Mom and can the garden stuff and do whatever I could. And I knew that she wasn't coming home. And when we got the word, Dad and the girls was in the field, and I called. I went out and yelled at him until I could make him hear me, and I said, "You got to come home. Mom's passed away." So Dad come out of the field and left the girls in the field.
Huh.
And he come out of the field and he come to the kitchen and got the old face towel off that was on a hook on the wall to wipe his eyes. And he said, "What am I going to do without her?" And I said, "You'll do fine without her, because you'll have to." But he said, "Well, I need you to go and take care of things, because you've took care of things up to this point. I don't think I can." I said, "I'll do what I can, Dad." So me and Taney and Ethel went to the hospital, and they'd already had the ambulance come and get her and take her to the Hall Brothers funeral home, which was down in Martin at that time. The funeral home was not out where it's at now. And we get there, and when we go inside, there's a casket with somebody in it. Taney don't wait to see if it's Mom or not. She just starts screaming. We had an awful time with her. I said, "Why in the world did we bring her with us to Ethel? Why in the world did we bring her with us?" Of course, neither one of us thought about her doing that. And I kept saying to her, "That's not Mom, that's not Mom," because they hadn't put Mom in it. They was waiting for us to tell them what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Ethel took care of it. And they wanted to know what kind of a shroud to put on her. It looks like a dress, but it's just a thing they put over and tuck under. And Ethel wanted pink, and I wanted gray, because Mom loved gray. So we compromised on that. They put the gray shroud with a pink tie or a bow or a scarf or something up here.
There's a pink chiffon scarf.
Hmm?
Pink chiffon
Yeah.
that was gathered around the throat.
But Mommy loved gray. For some reason, she loved gray, and I just wanted that gray dress for her. And that's what it looked like, a dress. So I picked it out. And then afterward, Dad wanted her to lie and stay at home. So we had her brought home. And then he wanted me to take her watch off. And she loved that old watch so good. When we kids gave it to her for Christmas, we all went together and bought her a watch. She was like a kid with $1 million. She just thought that was the most super thing she'd ever had, was that wristwatch.
Miss Dale,
Hmm?
excuse me. I have a letter where she mentions the fact that she got that watch.
Mhm.
for
Well,
Christmas.
Well, we all went together. All
I
of us
know.
went together and bought the
We
watch
all
for
did.
us, for her. And Dad wanted me to take it off of her, and I didn't want to do that. That hurt me so bad to have to do that. But I took it off because he asked me to. Then the next morning, he asked me to cut a lock of her hair and braid it and put it on a card for him. Sew it to the card, like one she had of a friend. I did that too, and that was again a hurting thing for me to cut her hair, because she didn't cut her hair. But I went back here and got a hunk of hair and braided it and sewed it to a card in a heart shape. She had a heart on black or dark gray paper about that big with a friend's hair braided and sewed to that. And that's what he wanted me to do with her hair for him. Well, Julie got rid of that hair somewhere. Never could find it after.
Julie got rid of everything.
Everything that belonged to Mom, she threw it away. Washed Mommy's face off a picture.
Nobody's saying that.
Piece by piece. You know, she was jealous of
Jealous of
Julie was.
anybody that he ever was with before. And she was friends with Annie Stewart, and because Annie offered Dad to marry him, Julie hated her. Before Julie offered to marry him. So he come to West Virginia. I lived in West Virginia at the time, and he come over there and he said, well, sis, I've had 2 offers of marriage. And he said, I know I need a woman because I can't handle the girls. He said, I don't know what to do with them. He said, I'm doing something wrong because they're rebelling. And he said, Myrtie always did that, so I don't know how to handle the girls. He said, I said, well, Dad, who's offering to marry you? He said, well, what do you think about that? I said, I think that if you want to get married, it's your business. You're the oldest to get married if that's what you want to do. And he said, well, I'll tell you, Annie Stewart's offered to marry me, and Julie Hall offered to marry me. Well, I thought about that a while, and I much preferred Annie to Julie because she was younger. But I didn't say so. I said, what do you think, Dad? And he said, well, Annie's still young enough to have children, and I'm not starting another family at my age. So he said, I guess it's Julie. So I said, but that's your choice. You do that. So he did. But he learned to love the old thing because she was good to him.
And Lenny. Lenny said
She was good to
remember
Lenny.
Mom.
She was good to Lenny.
It's just a shadowy remembrance, you know, of the funeral day. And Julie washed Daddy's feet every day, and she washed Lenny's feet every day. And she took real good care of them. You had to give her all the credit in the world for what she done, you know. And
Yeah,
we
she
did.
raised Lenroe.
We did.